Now the other one, Madman, I never heard of this movie before. Have you?
Oh yeah, I've seen this. I enjoy Madman a lot.
Really?
Uh, yeah, the story of Madman Mars. Galen Ross, who's the woman in Dawn of the Dead,
Oh yeah.
is in this, and you actually see her tits for a little bit.
I do. I remember you see her tits in a Dawn of the Dead movie as well. She was in the
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I always remember her in Madman because she doesn't go by her real name for some reason. She always goes by the name Alexis Dubin.
Oh.
She never admits that she's in this movie, but
Oh really? Wow.
I mean, it's your typical summer camp. You have teenagers, didn't kill left by right. But what I liked was the killer, Madman Mars. Like the whole story is, I swear to God, they must have stolen this for Hatchet.
Yeah.
Which I think a lot of people, because a lot of times, like the look, you know, the killer in Hatchet, the way he kind of looked and sounded, and the overalls.
Yeah.
It's almost a spitting image of Madman, to be honest.
Well, Adam Green must have seen this first, I guess.
But I think he admits he didn't even know what Madman. It's kind of like, you know, oh, I don't know what the hidden is.
Yo, Adam Marcus said about that.
And it's pretty much the same thing. What he says, oh, I don't know what Madman is.
And you're like, bullshit!
Exactly.
Like, if you're the Indian guy, you be coughing, bullshit! You're a fucking liar! You be coughing that shit.
Yeah. But you get some good death scenes. Like a woman is trying to fix her. Woman's trying to fix her car, and the trunk's up, you know, the hood's up. But the Madman jumps on the hood and cuts her body in half.
Really? Wow.
And I always remember the song at the end. It's like, Lord of the campfire, telling of his horror. It's just a really, beware the Madman Mars. It's a really cool score and also a cool song at the end, like a lot of good slasher films had.
Oh, cool.
Had some good lighting too, like bluish lighting. I don't know, it just had a good feeling to it. I don't know how to describe it. Just fun. You get a little bit, you know, good death scenes, a little bit of atmosphere, fast pace. But yeah, Madman. If anyone out there can find it, I would give Madman a watch. It's a fun time.
Oh, cool.
It's a good slasher movie.
Cool. I gotta give it a watch then. Yeah.
The next one sucks dick.
Just the title alone sounds like it sucks. Title alone.
You see that gore in the poster there?
Yeah, it's not in the movie, right?
No, not as much gore in the movie. No. It says banned in the USA. It should not have been banned. No, it should have been banned, but not for gore.
For
boredom? It should have been banned for its shittiness.
Boredom.
How do I describe this? It's a piece of shit. Well, how else do I describe it?
No, pretty much. I guess we leave it on that one.
Yeah, these girls, they get a car crash in the woods. They're taken to this family in this mansion. And you find that while they're in this mansion, this man-hating mom and her daughter. And the three girls get killed, and most of it's cutaways. And you find out that the daughter of this mom is actually a guy.
Oh,
that's the
no.
big twist.
Oh, no. I guess... And this came out a year before Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah.
So, you could say that the asshole director of Sleepaway Camp must have seen Unhinged.
This movie it's boring, it's monotonous, it's tedious, it's shitty, it's pointless. It's not gory at all. It's fucking stupid.
Wow, well, pretty much. Now we go to the next one. I never seen the Madman or Unhinged stuff like that. So I don't know really what to say about it, folks. But I trust Matt, so there you go. So I guess now what about this next one, Matt? The dorm that dripped blood.
I haven't seen this film. It says here, 4 people prepare the old dorm building to be torn down. They are pursued by a serial killer with a wide range of murder methods, ranging from power drill to industrial steam cooker.
Damn.
Is it the Is it that weird guy John Hammond killing off the incidental characters, or is it something even more terrifying? The only thing I know about is that Jamie Tanning mentions this movie in Scream 2. Well, he just mentions the title. That's all I know about this movie.
Oh, is it? Oh.
But I think it's also known as Pranks. That's another title for it. So I don't know if this is good, bad, or nothing. So
yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't know anything about it.
But now the next movie that's on this list now, this was another one of those movies on my mom's 5 fingers across the eyes list. There's Pieces and everything like that.
Pieces, yes.
Pieces, yes. And I actually, folks out there, I didn't know too much about this film. And the last weekend, matter of fact, when we were on here with Mike, I think we were looking through some stuff on YouTube, and you showed me clips of the film, and including the ending. And I look at it, I go, I don't know what the fuck to make of this movie, man. I don't know. I know the kills are very graphic, from what I understand. You know, and there's some little stuff in there they threw in there that makes no sense. I don't know, was it an attempt at humor? Like you got some woman.
Okay, Pieces is about a guy, when he was a kid, he would have this, like, pieces, meaning, like, pieces of a puzzle.
Yeah.
He has this puzzle that would make up to be a naked woman.
Yeah, I think his mom had found out, and he ended up killing his mom or something.
Yeah, he kills her with an axe.
Yeah.
And many years later, you have a killer who kills women and cuts their body parts.
Yeah.
He steals the pieces, and he wants to put together a human, like, jigsaw puzzle with body parts.
Yeah.
And the thing about this movie, it is graphic. Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? Like, there's no brain power, which I love about this movie. There's no brain power. You have a woman who is in an elevator, and this guy somehow, in broad daylight, gets his chainsaw into her elevator and cuts her, like, in half. And no one notices that there's this big motherfucker with a chainsaw's in there.
Yeah.
There's another scene where this woman's just walking down, it's nighttime, and this guy starts doing kung fu.
That's the scene you showed me. And I was, like, laughing. I'm like, what kind of fucking movie is this?
And then, basically, he, like, passes out. And, like, the girl's boyfriend comes and goes, what's going on? And they're like, oh, hey, buddy. Like, he knows this kung fu guy. And he goes, sorry. Didn't mean to do that. I guess I had bad chow mein or chops, whatever the fuck he said.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? I know, like, one of the guys in here is the guy who played Bluto in the Popeye movie.
Yeah, Paul Smith, I think his name is.
Yeah. It's just...
I think Christopher George is in this movie, right? I mean,
I think,
from what I understand, I think he's the killer in the movie, right? Christopher George?
No, he's not the killer.
Oh, he's not the killer? Oh. Alright.
At least I don't think. Oh, man, it's been a while. I don't think he is, though. But, how do I say it?
I know the ending of the movie comes out of nowhere, and it doesn't make no sense, but it's graphic, where the lead guy literally gets his balls ripped off or crushed in his pants.
Basically, the killer is supposedly dead in a body bag, and the guy's leaving the room, the survivor, and all of a sudden, like, a hand reaches out and grabs his nuts, and he screams. And you just see this red hole coming out of his pants. And he's, like, ripping his dick off. Yeah.
Is that he ripped the dick, or he just crushed it enough?
I think you can pretty much figure it out on your own.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Make some conclusion.
I mean, that's true. It's just, I don't know. It's a movie that, would I see it or would I not? I don't know. It's just...
I love it because it's so, like, what the fuck? And their scenes are really horrific, like...
Yeah, very horrific deaths. That's what I'm saying. You got one scene of a woman getting stabbed from the back of the head, and the knife comes out through the mouth.
Yeah, it's like in a... What is it? A waterbed.
Waterbed, yeah. And then one scene with a woman out in the I guess in the yard, taking sun or something. And she thinks that the guy hedging the thing. And it's a chainsaw, and he decapitates her head right there. Fire! And the way the blood looks almost like smokish, like smoke coming out of it. It's like, smoking? Yeah. I don't know. Pieces.
Pieces is a film that if you don't take it seriously, you need to watch one time. It's good.
I think maybe if I don't take it seriously, I think I can have fun with it. You know, it's just like
Yeah.
But a guy coming around doing kung fu and stuff, like, all right, I know it doesn't remember why the fuck he did it. Why not? All right.
It's like they didn't know what they were doing, making this movie, and they're like, oh shit, we know a guy who knows kung fu. Let's just throw him in.
I wonder if Joe Bob did a commentary for this movie. I can see Joe Bob doing one for this movie.
No, but believe it or not, there is a DVD with a lot of special features on it.
For this one? Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I have the DVD. I think it has a commentary from the director and has like a lot of pretty decent featurettes. And
wow.
It's go figure.
Amazing. Now the next movie over here, I'm very curious about because of the castings. I know you talked about it a couple of times, but I haven't seen
this one yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen you review it, but I know the cast is very interesting though. Do you want to mention the cast? Because I mean, it's shocking.
Alone in the Dark, which is one of the first films that Jack Shoulder directed, who would later do Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
And The Hidden.
Yeah, the cast, you have... it starts out with, you have Dwight Schultz, who plays
Murdoch
in the A-Team. What?
No, Murdoch, right there.
Yeah, Murdoch. Yeah, Dwight Schultz. He's a new doctor who is working at this mental hospital. And, like, he was talking about the cast... of the killers, two of them, one is played by Jack Palance and the other is played by Martin Landau. And one of the other doctors that Dwight Schultz is working with is Donald Pleasance.
Yeah.
And basically, Jack Palance, Martin Landau, and like two other guys, one's sort of a fatter type of guy, and one is sort of a mysterious guy. You never see his face. A lot of times he would like wear a mask or something. And later on, he actually gets like sort of like a kind of like a hockey mask, but kind of like a more like a goalie mask. Was it Jack Palance? And the killers basically think that Dwight Schultz somehow murdered their old doctor, but all the doctor did was like I think he just retired or went to another asylum or whatever.
Yeah.
Institute. But for some reason, these guys think that Dwight Schultz killed him.
Yeah.
I guess because they're fucking crazy. And so one night, there's a big power outage in town. And Jack Palance, Martin Landau, and the others, they're able to break out. And they decide to venture their way to Dwight Schultz's home and his family. And then they start, killing people one by one and so on, and Dwight Schultz and his family have to fight back. It's a really good movie. I mean, just from the cast alone.
I mean, it sounds interesting. That's what I'm curious about the cast. I mean, wow, they
Yeah,
had Dwight Schultz, I think this was a little bit, I'm guessing, before A-Team, I guess. So,
Yeah.
it was good to see him do something different before this. I mean, and stuff like that. You get Jack Palance, Donald Pleasance in the movie. Is he in the movie much?
Jack Palance, he's sort of
No, he has a creepy presence. I know that.
Yeah, and Martin Landau seems to be even crazier. He's almost like a preacher type of guy. And what can I say about this movie? I thought it's just the cast really makes it work. It's not much of a gore movie, or it's not much in that aspect.
It's more of a thriller, a little bit, and but then it has a little bit of slasher aspect to it, but not gore. But stuff. But I want to give it a watch. I'm real curious about it. Just by that cast alone, just Jack Palance and Donald Pleasance, Dwight Schultz.
It was cool to see Dwight Schultz as being like a hero. In a way, he's a hero of the movie.
So he's the Doug of the movie, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't do as much as Doug, but he gets a few stuff in.
Yeah.
I looked that up. Seen Alone in the Dark, not the Uwe Boll.
Yeah. Uwe Boll. Uwe. Remember Uwe?
But the the 82 one, it's definitely worth a look.
Well, I do gotta look that up. I'm saying I'm curious about that movie. Oh man, seems good. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
yeah.
and I think I'm trying to think. Tal Savini actually worked on one little piece, like just a little piece of what was it? Like a little monster. Like someone sees like they're going a little bit crazy. They see some monster like vision.
Yeah.
And Savini did like a little effect on it.
Yeah.
But I thought it was cool that you still had a little bit of Savini in it.
Yeah, I mean, the man was busy around the early '80s, man. Thanks to Friday the 13th and Dawn of the Dead and Maniac and Prowler and Burning. He's been all over the place. Stuff like that. So it's good that he had time to do a little part there, here and there. Like I think a lot of people don't know that Tom Savini did a little bit of special effects for Red Scorpion, that torture scene with Dolph Lundgren. That's Tom Savini right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good effect. The whole thing with the needles going through Dolph Lundgren. Well, I guess next one is Death Valley, which I don't know. Death Valley to me is not a horror film. I mean, it's more of a thriller.
Oh, you've seen it?
I've seen that. It's with the same kid who's in the Christmas Story, Peter Billingsley. But he's a lot younger in this movie. And I believe Stephen McHattie from, what was that? History of Violence, 300.
Okay, yeah, he's the guy film I saw called Pontypool.
Yeah, him. He's in this movie. And
it says Catherine Hicks from Child's Plays in it.
Yeah, she's there. And Paul LaMatt from American Graffiti is there as well.
Wilford Brimley's in this?
I think so. I think he plays the sheriff at the time.
Yeah, that's what it says here.
He's the sheriff, but I remember his character gets killed off though. He's not in the movie that long, though.
So what's the movie like? Like what's the?
I think it's about that they take their kid, I guess, to this place. It's like one of those Western town reenactments or something like that. And the kid loves cowboys and stuff. He dresses like a cowboy, Peter Billingsley character. And from what I understand, I haven't seen it in a while, but what I understand is that there's something going on, and I guess there's like a murder or a dead body the kid finds, and they get the sheriff involved or whatever, Wilford Brimley's character, and he goes to Stephen McHattie's house. I guess Stephen McHattie's a suspect or something, and Stephen McHattie steps out of the house, and the sheriff gets killed. Or something like that. We don't see who kills the sheriff. We just know the sheriff gets killed. And what happens is, then it gets to a climax in the end where Stephen McHattie is on top of the house, dancing around on the roof of the house, taunting Paul LaMatt or whatever, and they don't know where he's going to come out of. He could come through the window, he could come through, he's just dancing around and stuff like that. And Paul LaMatt's, the father, has a gun. He's trying to aim at the roof, find out where he's at, but he's just running back and forth on the roof. And then we realize the shock of the ending is that Stephen McHattie had a brother, they're twins, and they're running around doing the killings. And I believe the kid, from what I remember correctly, since he had a 6-shooter gun, actually draws down on Stephen McHattie. I think so. It's like almost like the Western Death Valley. So he shoots the killer. So that's the movie there. I mean, I don't know if it qualifies as a slasher, but
Was his twin, the dad, dead or?
No. The dad didn't die. What happened was, I guess, the dad killed the twin of Stephen McHattie, and then the other twin tried to kill the family, and I guess the gun was away from the father, the Paul LaMatt character. And Peter Billingsley gets the gun. And I guess like a Western, the killer, the Stephen McHattie's twin, has a gun as well. So they do like a draw. And Peter Billingsley wins. Killer's dead. If I remember the ending correctly. I could be wrong. I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen it. But I remember it was something like that. Stephen McHattie, I think he had a twin brother. And it was 2 of them doing the killings. But you're thinking it's one. Because how can it be at one place and not the other place? So that will explain how Wilford Brimley's character gets killed. After you see Steve McHattie's in front of them, all of a sudden he gets stabbed in the back. So you know it's 2 killers or whatever, but you don't know he's a twin. But anyway, I just gave it away. But anyway, like I said, hey, but that's the movie. I mean, I don't think it was much to run home about, but it was maybe a thriller. I don't know if it qualifies as a gore or nothing like that, No.
Right.
But the next movie, I remember it well, because Hospital Massacre was in my mom's collection. It's a slasher movie in a hospital. You might like it, Matt. It involves, I guess we see in the beginning of a movie, a kid likes this girl, and he sends a card to the girl, and he's looking through the window, and he sees that they're laughing at him or whatever. So he goes, and I guess he kills the girl's friend or boyfriend or something, teenage girl's boyfriend, and she's dead. And then fast forward years later, now the girl's a woman, and she's going to a hospital, I guess, for some kind of surgery or something. And in the hospital, a lot of people start getting killed. You have a scene there which the killer, that saw they used to cut the cast away? Like, when you get a cast on your arm?
Yeah.
He uses that weapon a lot. Kill people left and right and stuff. I don't remember too many of the kills, but I remember the ending where he's finally face to face with the lead woman, and the lead woman pulls the mask off, and he goes, "You don't remember me? Harold, remember Harold?" And then that's the guy from the past, that killed her friend. So then you have a chase in the hospital. I think one thing leads to another. It's been a while since I've seen this movie, but I remember enjoying it. That was one of the movies I was actually allowed to see. And, and he gets burned and pushed off the roof of the hospital, and he falls to his death. But the movie is interesting. A slasher in a hospital, Matt. I mean, you like Halloween too, hey, you might give it a watch. I remember, seeing it on a VHS tape. My mom had that in her collection. I don't know if it made DVD format or not. But I remember it was an MGM release. Maybe it is a DVD format out. I remember, or Canon had it, or somebody had it. Or something. But hey, give it a watch. If anyone's heard of Hospital Massacre, please let us know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But you like it. You like Halloween too, right?
Yeah.
It's like that, but... It's like that, but with the cast saw killing people. That's it. So it's pretty good on that front right there, and stuff. Makes you think twice about staying overnight in the hospital, Shit. Stuff like that. Now, Visiting Hours is a movie I've heard of because I think Michael Ironside is in it, but I had never seen the movie. Have you?
Yeah, I actually did enjoy it from what I remember because this journalist who Michael Ironside plays the killer.
Oh, really? Well, he has the face for it,
Yeah, and I think he rapes and almost kills his journalist type girl. But he finds out that the girl has actually been put into the hospital. And he decides to finish what he started. Wow. And you actually have William Shatner as, I think he's the cop. On the case, sort of.
William Shatner? Really?
Yeah, William Shatner's in this movie, too.
I must find to kill the killer and find what must be done. But first, I will talk about Priceline.com. I know I did William Shatner.
That's a good one.
Yeah? Right now, I'm listening to these two guys who look like Dante and Randall from Clerks by Kevin Smith.
But yeah, I actually really enjoyed this flick. I think mainly because of Michael Ironside and seeing William Shatner in a role like this. I think he's not a cop, actually. He's he knows the journalist, so I think he's like a director or editor or something of the, TV...
Producer or something?
She's like a journalist on TV, and he's like an editor or someone who knows the lead girl.
Yeah.
And it's mainly just Michael Ironside trying to killing a couple people and trying to get in the hospital and trying to find her in this cat and mouse chase.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I always enjoy it just mainly because I liked Michael Ironside and I like to see William Shatner in a movie like this.
Well, I gotta look it up then. I heard of the title before. I've never seen the movie. I gotta look it up. Check it out.
I know it's not that gory.
Okay.
But I like the I like those two guys in it, so I thought it was a pretty good watch.
Oh, cool. I gotta look that. I'm gonna really see that movie, man. Check it out. Cause that's how William Shatner in a slasher movie is like, what the fuck, you know?
It's not. That's what I thought. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Cause Michael Ironside, he could pull it off as a villain. I mean, even before this, he did Scanners. And he was good in that movie.
That's how he got the job. I think people saw Scanners.
Yeah, the whole thing,
That guy.
Yeah, so I put him in this movie too. Why not? Yeah. Now, Death Screams. I've known nothing of Death Screams. You?
Nothing. It's the fuck is this? Teenagers are stalked and murdered by a maniac at a town fair. Wow, I really said a lot. Thanks.
Sounds original, yeah. But now the next movie, I owned the VHS tape of this movie, Humongous.
Oh really?
Yeah, I owned the VHS tape. It actually belonged to my granduncle when he used to have VHS collection back in his place over there. It was right, and when I used to go visit him, watch movies every weekend at his place and stuff. He had VHS collection, Jackie Chan movies, everything. Yeah, VHS shrine, forget it. He had it in his house.
Wow.
And stuff. So. We've seen that. It was a good movie. It's one of those Embassy, the Embassy release movies. Those type of movies. Stuff like that. So a movie opens up in which I believe Paige Fletcher from that TV series The Hitchhikers in the movie for the beginning of it, in which he's talking to this girl at the party, at some party or whatever, and the girl, some rich girl or whatever, and she's not really paying him no mind, but he still becomes persistent with her, which leads to him attacking her and raping her. And the woman actually has a relationship with these dogs, these Rockwilders, which she feeds, and she babies them and everything like that. And the dogs, I guess, they sense that she was in trouble and they break out of the stable or whatever. So it comes to a point there where it gets good cutaway where you see a little bit of the rape, then it cuts to the dogs running. A little bit of the rape, the dogs running. And then out of nowhere, the dogs go and they bite, they rip the guy to shreds pretty much. I don't know if it's a big gore, but I remember it being cut away. Kind of like American Werewolf in London type of being ripped to shreds like that.
Wow.
And what happens is the woman, being raped and attacked like that never becomes the same. And some time goes by. And we realize that, I guess, now we're introduced to a group of teenagers who are on this boat. I guess this little, I don't know what you call those boats, like a fishing boat where you get the steering and shit. I don't know what you call those boats. Maybe it's a fishing boat type of shit, And they go off to this, I guess, this island or this forest somewhere for a weekend or whatever. A little bit of nudity, not much, or whatever. Yeah. And they end up there and they make it. I haven't seen the movie in a while, but I remember... We see the killer in the end. What it is, the woman had went nuts and for some reason became a recluse. And the lead girl is actually it's the same actress playing two parts, from what I understand. So the woman, I guess, went crazy and stayed and left the kid alone with the dogs. So I'm guessing the dogs raised the kid, but the kid ended up becoming scarred a little bit from the dogs. I don't know how. I didn't understand how that story came into play. Or maybe was born deformed or something. And ends up in the woods. And you pretty much have a slasher in the woods. But it's not a slasher with machetes and all that. It's more like he gets you, he rips you to shreds, or he chokes you. And I know you have one scene there where he chases one of the guys, and the killer Humongous comes through the door, and the guy screams like a woman. Ah! In fear, which anyone would do if you see someone that are ugly, so I can't knock the guy too much on it, but the way he screams, And then you have a cool fight, which is kind of fucked up in a way, because the boyfriend of the girl gets killed, but I liked about it was a stand-up fight. It wasn't like, and that's it, it was more like, come on, let's go, and then fighting, and he gets fucked up badly. The monster breaks his back.
Oh, wow.
And he gets dragged away, and it's almost sex. Like, damn, this guy, was a good character. And he's like, fuck, And now it's just the woman and the Humongous, the monster, I guess, the deformed guy. And I'm not sure if you get to see his face, but she burns him, and he comes out, he's all fucked up looking or whatever. Well, you can't tell if the fire did that or that was the birth defect. But it's worth a watch. It's not a bad movie. I mean, maybe I don't know how good the special effects hold up. I haven't seen it in a while. I know I have it on the original VHS Embassy tape. But, it's worth the watch. I don't know if it had DVD format, but, if you see it on video, for $1, Matt, go for it. Maybe,
Alright.
Yeah, but it's humongous there. If anyone knows what humongous, please leave a comment. Now, The Forest, that sounds familiar. I'm not sure if you talked about it or Mike did.
Yeah, I did review it, and I won't change my mind for my review. I think I was a little too positive with this movie. Okay, the gist of it is you have 4 people. These 2 girls get pissed at their hubby, so they go into the forest alone. They go ahead, and their husbands are going to meet them in a little bit. Actually, they fuck off, they go into the forest, and the husband decides to follow them.
Oh, I think I know what this is now, yeah. It's about
this guy who looks like a fucking truck driver.
Yeah, I think I know what you're going at with this, yeah. About the kids are like ghosts or something?
Yeah, apparently this guy, he had a wife who was cheating on him constantly and would lock his kids in a closet. And one day he snapped and killed her and killed the guy she was with.
Oh, that was a funny scene. I know you showed a clip of it.
Yeah, because every time, the guy would get a weapon, and then he's like, he get the shit to down, and then he'd appear somewhere else and get another weapon, and then get another weapon. But anyway, I guess what happened was he went into the forest with his kids, and his kids got depressed, and I guess killed themselves. And so now they're like ghosts who once in a while warn. Like, one of them sort of warns the couple, and the other's like, doesn't give a shit, I guess. And the father's like a cannibal, because he kills one. I guess he tricked her for meat. Because the husband's arrived, they don't know what's going on. And there's a scene.
The husband's eating the dead wife.
And they don't know it, though. It's like one of them goes, shivers. And the other guy goes, what's wrong? And he sort of goes, I don't know, just... he's like, something's wrong, or like just felt a chill on my back, or something like that. As if instinctively he knew what was going on.
Yeah.
He didn't know fully.
Yeah, like the hairs go up in the back of your neck type of shit. Like, oh, I don't know, man.
And there's not much kills in the movie, and it's slow paced, and it's like, it's like cannibal and ghost searches. You also see the dead mom from time to time as it goes.
And you find out that the mom, I think, was a bitch or something or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I think I remember that review now. Maybe you showed clips of it or whatever, yeah.
And I don't know, I mean, I like the lead guy playing the killer. I thought he was a good actor. I don't know, the more I think about it, the more I was bored by it.
Yeah.
It's a pretty fucking boring movie.
Wow.
So I would say skip it, now that I think about it, but it's on a double bill with Don't Go in the Woods Alone, so...
You're stuck with it.
Yeah, I haven't watched it again since...
Wow.
I'm a little too positive on my reviews.
Well, I think you'd be happy with the next movie that's on the list right there, because, of course, that's Psycho 2.
Yes, first Psycho I ever saw, and my favorite one.
Yeah, it's a very good sequel. I mean, this one and the third movie I always hold in high regards,
I don't know, for some reason I can never get in the third one. I just watched that today, actually, part 2, 3, and 4.
Oh, why? You have the DVDs of them?
Yeah, they're on one DVD. It's like a triple bill.
Oh, they have a triple? Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, Psycho 2, 3, and 4. And Psycho 2, though, I think Richard Franklin directed this. I think it's the same guy who did, Road Games.
Yeah.
And Cloak and Dagger. Oh, FX2.
Oh, he did the FX2? Wow.
Link. That's the Killer Ape movie with Elizabeth Shue.
Yeah.
And Terrence Stamp.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was written by Tom Holland, who directed Child's Play and Fright Night.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, you have Norman. He's been released from mental asylum. One of the girls from the first movie, the sister of Janet Leigh's character, says you can't do this, but they said he's cured. But he goes back and he has all these notes and stuff saying that his mom's still alive, like it came from his mom.
Yeah.
These phone calls at night.
Yeah. Pretty much fucking with him, I guess. I remember seeing this movie. I think Meg Tilly is there actually. She's in the movie as well.
And what you later find, like, and then people start disappearing, start getting killed. Like Dennis Franz, he gets killed.
Yeah.
And you find out that Meg Tilly is actually the daughter of the old lady, the sister who didn't want Norman out.
Yeah.
And their whole plan was to sort of make Norman go over the edge again, so to recommit him.
Yeah.
But Meg Tilly's developed a friendship with Norman.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Norman's a little out there now, a little too far gone ahead. And then what's strange is that at the end she wears the mom suit, with the wig.
Yeah.
Just to trick him back.
Yeah.
And he's kind of too far gone. And I think she sees her dead mom's body, thinking that Norman did it, and tries to kill him. But the cops come down and shoot her, and they sort of blame all the killings on her and her mother.
Yeah.
And then you find out there's this woman that's been in the movie that sort of works with Norman, who got this job at a diner.
Yeah.
And she tells him that she's really his mother. And that back then she was a little bit crazy too, and she was in the institution as well. And that when she heard what was going on with what they were doing to Norman, she took action. She was the one doing the killing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have that great scene.
Or they're drinking coffee and he comes out with the shovel and fucks her up right there.
And you see him hit her in one shot, and it's like, it looked like a hard hit at the back of her head too, because it doesn't cut away.
Yeah.
I'm like, how the fuck did he do that? Like, that was pretty good. And the rest of the film, I guess I always liked it. I mean, you get a little bit of blood.
Yeah.
But it also has that sort of you can tell the director studied Hitchcock, has a lot of angles and building the suspense.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, I just always got into this film a lot more than all the others. It was just, I like this idea that, this guy, it was really weird.
Yeah.
He's a killer, but yet I felt sorry for him.
Yeah.
It's strange.
Yeah. Lazy the idea, is he really rehabilitated, because if you looked at the fourth film, the beginning, you see pretty much what his mother did to him, stuff like that. So he was, reason to snap, pretty much. It's not like he came out of nowhere, I'm going to be a killer, like that, just, his mom was the reason why he fucked up, and, why the damage went on to his, would go on to do what he did. And like that. But I do agree, this movie, I think, is better than the first movie. I know a lot of people are going to get mad about it, but it's just my opinion,
Well, it's my opinion, too.
Exactly, it's our opinion. Yeah, but it's a solid film. The third one I always liked I liked the idea of, there was more kills, a little bit more kills in there. Jeff Fahey playing this guy who works at the motel, and he starts to fucking blackmail Norman and stuff, and there's like a whole thing where Norman kills him with the guitar and shit.
Oh yeah, part 3 you mean?
Yeah, part 3, yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff. I liked that. The Anthony Perkins with the nun who I guess was depressed or something like that and accidentally killed another nun or whatever, so she ends up wandering away and finds herself at the Bates Motel into a scene there which is gonna seem like it's gonna look very reminiscent from the first original movie where he goes to catch her at the shower, which she's actually in the bathtub and she's killed herself.
Because he keeps seeing her as Marion Crane, because on her suitcase there's MC. When she gets out of the bus, Norman sees her and reminds him of Janet Leigh's character. And like the whole time, like one time when after he saves her, he calls her Marion.
Yeah.
And says, "Oh, I mean, her real name's Maureen."
Yeah. Wow,
Yeah,
I didn't even know that. Wow.
Yeah, he kept thinking that she kept saying, I think he had a scene with his quote mother saying, I swear it's her. It's Marion Crane. And the mom says she's dead. And he goes, well, you are too. Sort of that thing.
Yeah.
You came back from the dead too. His old fucked up mind. But
yeah. Yeah, it's kind of weird how she gets killed because she gets pushed down the stairs by accident and falls right into a Cupid statue, stabbing her in the back of the head.
Yeah.
Like, wow, it's almost like a metaphor. Anthony Perkins is trying to say love kills. Something like that, But Anthony Perkins directed that and wrote it. I mean, I didn't find it that bad, And of course, Psycho 4 with Henry Thomas, pretty much. I mean, Anthony Perkins ain't in the movie that much. He's telling that story to the radio DJ about his past. But we don't know yet as Norman, but the DJ figures it out and stuff like that. And you see Henry Thomas playing teenage Norman Bates, and he did a good job with it. But Psycho 2, I mean, going back to Psycho 2, it's a solid film. Pretty solid. I guess now we get to my favorite prank horror movie.
Sleepaway
Camp. With the one and only, what is it? Felicia Rose playing
Felicia
Angela.
Rose is Angela.
As Angela, yes. And the movie basically starts out, I mean, these two guys, I guess one of the guys has his daughter and son there, and they had like they buy a boat or something like that, and they're hanging out there. You figure maybe the guys are friends or whatever. It seems strange in retrospect when you find out why. And what happens is there's these kids, they look like they'll be too young to be fucking with one of those jet boats or motor boats or whatever.
Oh yeah, and kills one of the kids.
And kills one of the kids, horribly wounding one of them, Angela. And
or so you think.
So you think, yeah. So you think. So then the father, and I guess the father's friend, are killed, and like that. And then some time passed, like maybe a couple of years later, and Angela's living with her cousin and her cousin's quotation mom, which you could see in plain sight is a cross-dresser. Very protective of Angela for some reason or like that, and tells his son, to please look out to your cousin. You're going away for this camp or whatever. And now when they get to the camp, right away, from what I'm remembering, they are fucked with a lot. And you could tell this is an all New York cast because you see a lot of, what the fuck you motherfucker, you fuck you motherfucker, you. A lot of bad language and stuff, which I don't mind, don't get me wrong, I mean, I use it a lot, but, all in the Brooklyn, Long Island manner, pretty much.
Right.
So that gets in there.
Well, it's weird that the cousin, I think his name is Ricky, didn't know anything of what was going on, like, with his own cousin.
Yeah, that's what's very strange about it as well. Like, he just turned a blind eye to the whole thing,
I guess.
What the fuck?
Sorry, go ahead.
So then, that's true, it's a good one there. So then, what happens is, the people start fucking with Angela, the other girls in the camp, and everything like that. Even some of the guys, and it opens up also where you have this guy who's a cook in the kitchen. And you know this guy's a real asshole because he starts looking at the girls, and the girls in the camp are maybe 13, 14. He's looking at them, and these girls are not really developed yet, so you know something's wrong with this fucking guy.
Oh, exactly, I remember that,
Yeah, so he corners Angela, Felicia Rose's character, in the kitchen and tries to do something stupid. And her cousin comes to her rescue, and they get out of there. And then the next thing you know, something goes on where he's alone in the kitchen. He's boiling corn on the cob. And he's on a chair. And I'm guessing, if I remember correctly, the chair is moving and he's about to fall into that hot pan where the corn is boiling. And stuff like that. He's like, no. He knows who the killer is, but he's not going to say a name. But wait a minute. Don't do this. And then you have that bruise. It's not.
Yeah, he's knocked off the chair.
He's knocked the chair in the hot water.
Hits
his face. And it looks very graphic, even though it's not much to run home about, but just the way it's presented. I mean, boiling hot water in somebody's face is, the fuck. So he's burned. And the guy who runs the sleepaway camp is kind of a sleazy guy, an old guy and stuff. He wants to keep everything under wraps and stuff like that. and there's another killing going on. I mean, it does seem slow paced at time. I know the cousin's friend is Christopher Collette, who you guys will see later on in movies like Firstborn with Peter Weller, and he'll also be in Manhattan Project with John Lithgow. And pretty much, make a long story short, anybody who fucks with Angela ends up getting killed, and the guy who's running the camp, the sleazy guy, keeps suspecting that it's Angela's cousin and stuff like that. And and then you get the final ending, which everybody remembers from the movie. There is no nudity in this movie, like I said before, and the kills, I mean, there's no knifing, and like you see aftermath. I mean, that's why sometimes the movie looks like it's a TV movie almost, with a lot of cursing thrown in it. The way it looks, it cuts away and stuff. And then you have Christopher Collette's character who kind of has feelings for Angela, but Angela's very shy. Doesn't say much. Just everything what Felicia Rose does by a stare really works. And everything like that. So I think she did a good job acting-wise on that. Not saying a word too much, just giving little glimpses and looks and everything like that. Until the ending that everybody remembers, including my mom.
Chick with the dick.
The chick with the dick. But the way it's presented with the mouth, where you see, all you see is like Angela's back naked on the floor, Photoshop. And, and then you see the flashback, and we realize Angela is really, I guess, Peter. So we realized Angela was actually killed in that accident, and Peter, somehow the aunt made Peter a woman or something.
Yeah, they didn't want another boy.
They didn't want another boy, so he became...
Two boys just won't do, so they had the boy turn to a girl.
Made him dress like a girl, which I don't...
It looks like they just hired a guy made like a mask of Felicia Rose's face and put it on it.
But the way it's presented with the picture quality, it looks disturbing. I can understand why people say when they seen that back in '83 they had nightmares about it. I mean, but... And then they cut away, we see Felicia's face as she goes, It's just graphic, But now, other than that, because think about it, there's no nudity in the whole movie. Except that. That's what bugs you out. It's like, what the fuck? But, I mean, I've seen it once. It's not a movie I would run home about. But if anyone who hasn't seen it, which I know they're not going to see it now, I just gave away the fucking ending. But, good. It's on YouTube, folks. You can check it out. Somebody was nice enough to upload it. You can check it out. I know Matt is not crazy about the movie because it's a slow-paced movie, which is understandable. But you got one, then the commentary track with the director seems like a dick,
Yeah, the film to me, I thought it was boring. The kills, I mean...
It's aftermath. That's what it is, really.
Yeah, the water splash on a guy's face, I think she put like a beehive in someone when they're in the bathroom.
In the shower, yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, I just found them lame. I think to me, I'll be honest, I think if it wasn't for that ending, no one would remember this movie.
That's true. That's true. That's very
true.
That's
my honest opinion. I think if they didn't have an ending, people would forget this movie.
It's true, because I've talked to people about Sleepaway Camp, even at work, and that's the thing they remember mostly about the movie. The dude, the chick with the dick. That's it. I feel bad for Felicia Rose. I can imagine going through life. Wait a minute, you got a ding dong. Get the fuck away from me. No, come here. I don't got a dick. Come here. I show you.
Hey, where's your dick? Where's your dick, Felicia Rose?
Yeah, imagine that. When she went to college when the sequels were being made. But the sequels are more fun. I mean, the second one I'd seen is a lot of fun. I mean, I do want to get the DVD of it, Now,
they were the 3 and 4. I mean, 2 and 3, not 4.
No, 4 sounds...
not 4.
4 sounds shitty, just by you reviewing it. I mean, just by you talking about...
Yeah, it's just a guy who's a bully, but yeah, he cries like a bitch because he gets picked on, which doesn't make any sense. That's like half the movie. And then... It's bullshit.
Pretty much.
Okay. You're tied to a tree. Your dick's hanging out, and you see the string hooked onto your dick. I would not be going, oh, that's kinky. I'd be like, fucking let me go. But the guy's like, oh, that's kinky, nice. Or like, I don't know. The ending is basically you see this cop who's pretty obvious something's fucked up. This cop has like a voice box like, you know, like cancer victim.
Yeah.
And he basically takes off the shit, and you find out it's Felissa Rose, and she's in the film for about 10 seconds.
Was she killing anybody, or was she just in the...
Just standing there, basically.
With the any of that shit? Or
yeah, like screaming, like, or laughing or some shit.
Oh.
I think she was laughing.
Oh, no.
That's it.
Well, she must have got a big paycheck for that. Okay, I'll do this movie. Why not?
Yes.
Yeah.